a moment for Mike Bailey to kick off Slammiversary.
And the look on his face says it all. He almost can't believe it, overcoming an incredible field of athletes to win the X Division Championship, his first.
5 long years of waiting and working, not allowed to leave his home country of Canada to pursue opportunities here in America. 5 long years of working for this.
Mike Bailey, I've said it before, I'll say it again, has been one of the most consistent, impressive athletes in all of professional wrestling, and it has culminated here tonight at Slammiversary.
Well, hello everyone from ringside. Along with the Drama King, Matthew Raywald, I'm Tom Hannafin. Tonight, it's a special evening, an evening that revolves around history. Tonight, we are respecting history. The TNA and Impact Wrestling legends are in attendance, and we also are going to be making history this evening.
That's right, and we can't talk about history in this company without recognizing the incredible impact that Bob Ryder has had on TNA and Impact Wrestling.
And for those of you that don't know, Bob Ryder was a constant here in Impact Wrestling for a number of years. Bob Ryder, Jeff Jarrett, and Jerry Jarrett, once upon a time on a boat in the Gulf of Mexico, came up with the idea for TNA. Bob Ryder was influential behind the scenes, and unfortunately we lost Bob back in 2020. This broadcast, this Slammiversary, is dedicated to Bob Ryder, but we have to look forward to what we have going on this evening. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our French broadcast team here at ringside. It is Marc Blondy and Handsome JF.
Eh bien oui, mesdames, messieurs, on est en direct de l'asile à Nashville. C'est la capitale de la musique western.
Non, la musique country, Blondin.
Pas pareil.
Non, c'est pas pareil.
Ici Marc Blondin, à mes côtés, nul autre que Handsome JF. Ce soir, on célèbre 20 ans. Et 20 ans, 65%, j'étais là, 13 ans sur 20. Wow!
Les 2 dernières années ont été les meilleures avec Handsome JF. Un personnage incroyable.
Spectacular action in store here at Slammiversary. First off, let's talk about another championship matchup still to come here inside the Asylum in Nashville, Tennessee. The Knockouts World Tag Team titles will be defended as the Influence put their titles on the line against the long sordid history of this team, Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary.
But not only that, it is Monsters Ball. The wrestling god Moose takes on the Death Machine, Sami Callihan.
Remember, these two have been locked alone in separate rooms with no light, no food, no water for almost 24 hours. We've seen over the last few weeks, Moose is not okay with the darkness. Sami Callihan is fine with it. He said, lights on, lights off, I kick your ass, Moose.
But also tonight, it's Honor No More versus a team of Impact Originals. Frankie Kazarian, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Nick Aldis, and a 5th partner to be determined. Scott D'Amore has said it can be anybody from Impact's past or present.
I talk about how we've been making history this evening. It's the first ever Queen of the Mountain match for the Knockouts World title. Tasha Steelz, the champion, defends against Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace, and the HBIC, Mia Yim.
And the Impact World Tag Team Championships are on the line as the Briscoes defend against the Good Brothers.
And in our main event, the future of Impact Wrestling is at stake. The Impact World Champion, Josh Alexander, defends against Violent by Design's Eric Young. But before we get to that, let's check in with one of Impact Wrestling's former backstage interviewers, Scott Hudson. Take it away, Scott.
Matt, Tom, it's great to be right back here on the grounds of the old Asylum, where it all began for Impact Wrestling 20 years ago. But this is not Old Home Week. This is going to be a war, a 10-man war tonight, featuring my guest at this time, the Motor City Machine Guns, Frankie Kazarian and Nick Aldis. Oh, man, it's going to get brutal. But before we get to it, Guns, congratulations are in order. Fan poll says you are the most impactful team in the history of Impact Wrestling.
And to me, there was never a doubt. There's been a lot of great tag teams that have stepped into an Impact ring. We can name them, just a few. The Hardys, Team 3D, America's Most Wanted, Generation Knee, Bad Influence, a British Invasion, but the Motor City Machine Guns came out number 1 because we redefined tag team wrestling, and that's not what tonight's about. It's a nice accolade to have, but tonight has a different meaning altogether.
Yeah, that's right. Tonight isn't just a celebration. It isn't just about celebrating the 20-year history of this company. It's about defending it. See, Honor No More has been running around this place doing whatever the hell they want. They injured Rhino. They injured Heath. Well, tonight, that all ends.
Frankie, it could get bad out there.
It probably will get bad, but it's about celebration tonight. It's good to see you again, my friend.
You too.
And we are all in celebratory moods, are we not? But we're also in a mood to fight. Honor No More. I hope you're in a mood to fight as well, all of you. The guy that thinks he's Rob Zombie, the guy that thinks he's Frankenstein, the guy with the backwards hat who was the wife, the guy that's a Celtics fan. They just lost in the NBA Finals. You see that? And the other trendy guy from Boston. I hope you boys are ready to bring it, because tonight, we're going to lay it on the line in the name of Impact Wrestling.
Nick?
You know, when you look at this lineup of individuals, it doesn't necessarily make sense to the naked eye. Different shapes, different sizes, different walks of life, different styles, different accents. But the one thing we all have in common is we take pride in our profession and we love this business. And we also appreciate the opportunity that was given to us. Because in this business, you're only as good as the opportunity extended to you. And the reason that we were all able to make our mark in professional wrestling is because of the opportunity extended to us by Impact Wrestling.
I am not a math major. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 10-man war. Somebody's missing. Who's the 5th guy?
You want to take this one?
Nick?
Well, okay, gents. Listen, the one thing I can say is that there were a lot of applicants, right? But when we saw this name on the list, we agreed it's a no-brainer. He's the one.
They're keeping it kayfabe as always. We'll find out when everybody finds out. Hey, you know what? We've walked among legends here at Impact Wrestling. Some are going to be here tonight. Some wanted to send an extra special message, like this legend.
TNA was an outlet for me to get my way back into the wrestling industry. Got a phone call from Jeff Jarrett, and it started out as just a one-off kind of a deal. We did one-off, and then another one-off, and then Dixie Carter entered the picture, and Kurt Angle, and the rest is history. And I decided I was going to come back on a more full-time deal. I do have some highlight memories being with TNA, and you know, my character has evolved so many times over the years, but I had a chance to really step out of the box big time and be Joker Singh. And to this day, I do have people, when I see them in airports or, you know, little meet and greets that I do here and there, man, I love that Joker Singh character, and it was a good time. Lots of great matches with Abyss, even Hogan, one of his last matches, maybe the last real match, I don't know. And then Kurt Angle, he pushed me to my limits. Jeff Jarrett, Samoa Joe. It was a fun time. Best of luck to all of you. Tear it up.
Well, we are going to try to do the Icon proud, as coming up next, the Knockouts World Tag Team titles are on the line. In the Influence defend against Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is for the Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. Scheduled for one fall, the challengers first. Representing DK from the Valley of the Shadows, Rosemary!
Rosemary, as a part of Decay, has been mystifying Impact Wrestling fans ever since the mid-2010s. But as we get set for this Women's Championship bout, a quick note about our friends within Anthem Sports and Entertainment, the All-Pro Women's MMA promotion, Invicta FC, on Wednesday, July 20th. It's Invicta FC 48, Tennant versus Ruben, live on Access TV and Invicta FC's digital platforms. Visit InvictaFC.com for more information.
Right now, Rosemary looks to reunite with a former teammate, to reach tag team glory once again.
And it is a very complicated path between these two.
Her tag team partner from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Taya Valkyrie.
She is the reigning AAA Reina's champion, as well as got her sights set on one Thunder Rosa, as we learned recently, but it is about the Knockouts World Tag Team titles this evening here at Slammiversary. But let's wind the clock back a bit, Ray Wall. Valkyrie debuted in Impact in 2017. On that night, she did it at the expense of Rosemary.
That's a lot of sordid history, maybe a little bit of bad blood in the deep annals of that history between these two. Can they get it together against a formidable team?
Their opponents are the defending Knockout World Tag Team Champions, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, The Influence!
The Influence are tied for the 6th longest Impact Knockout World Tag Team title reign at 106 days, with the likes of TNT and the inaugural champions Sarita and Taylor Wilde. Now, ironically, the Impact Knockout World Tag Team titles first introduced back in 2009. It was the team of Sarita and Wilde who defeated Madison Rayne and Velvet Sky, the Beautiful People.
Why? Look, I know you've got a bajillion stats in that book. You text somebody and you get them sent to your computer brain. But why would you have to bring up something like that right before a match?
It's history. That's a compliment to Madison Rayne especially.
You're jinxing things. The Influence have been on a roll lately, and they have the advantage of being a continuous, a consistent team, which is something their opponents, excuse me, I was talking, do not have that same advantage.
The Influence have been outstanding as a team. I personally have raised questions about their ability to do it on their own as just a conventional two-person team, and they have done that. The question is, are Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie going to be able to get it together? Because it's not like they tag together all that frequently, Ray Wall.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That consistency, that relationship, that rapport you have, that almost unheard language you share with a tag team partner develops over time. And when you leave for a while, when you make that space, it's hard.
This is Valkyrie to start things off against Madison Rayne. Valkyrie, who still to this day owns the longest single Knockouts World Championship reign.
So right now, it is not about singles glory. It is about teamwork. That is the big question when it comes to Valkyrie and Rosemary.
There's a cover to win the titles and a kick out by Madison Rayne. And this is just a sample, Ray Wall, of what we're seeing this evening from the Knockouts, who have been given so many opportunities to shine in this company. Rosemary tags in.
And it seems like Taya Valkyrie wasn't quite ready for the tag, wasn't asking for the tag. Rosemary tagged herself in.
Oh, and Rosemary biting Madison Rayne. And right now, I want to let you know, check out the pre-sale for this Slammiversary event. The 2022 Slammiversary DVD is going on sale, pre-sale now at shopimpact.com.
Ooh.
Tag made.
Just before you were speaking there was another verbal almost altercation between Valkyrie and Rosemary about who she wanted the tag. Rosemary didn't want to give the tag. So they got to start getting on the same page.
You know what it means to be a champion in tag team wrestling? It is not easy. You do need to develop that continuity. Oh, and they do it quickly in a championship match, though.
It's almost like that Overwatch League hit scan Ons. He left his team in San Francisco Shock, came back a year later. That continuity wasn't quite there anymore. I hope that this team can do better.
I have no idea what you just said. Pandemonium there by Taya Valkyrie. I believe Rosemary had tagged herself in at one point in that sequence. Rosemary, hold on, it was Rayne who saved Dashwood from the spear by Rosemary.
And that's the continuity. That is the built-in teamwork that the Influence has. And it is paying off in spades.
Rosemary's had plenty of frustration.